Hi, you're listening to the Love and Money podcast, and my name is Shakira. And today I'm going to talk to you about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in particular, and what just happened with Bitcoin. So recently there was a couple by the name of Heather Morgan and Llya Lichtenstein. They are a couple who are known as technology entrepreneurs. They were recently arrested for money laundering. Um, and it is speculated that they stole $4.5 billion in crypto from a currency exchange by the name of Bitfinex. It's spelled Bitfinex. It's a currency exchange, and $4.5 billion went missing. So this couple was arrested. What happened is the U.S. Justice Department, they had federal agents go and do a search warrant, and they searched their cloud storage for information on their crypto wallets. And so they recovered 3.6 billion of the 4.5 billion that went missing. And so the Justice Department, this is their largest financial seizure. And I find it interesting that the Justice Department is even looking into crimes like this, but they are looking, like it said, Big Brother is always watching. Well, they're watching what's going on with these cryptocurrencies. So some money came up missing on this cryptocurrency exchange, and the U.S. Justice Department, they went after this couple. They searched their information by looking at their iCloud accounts, and they recovered a large portion of the money. And so now this couple is arrested. And so this is what's going on. They are arrested for they call it conspired to launder, money laundering. So what is money laundering? Money laundering is when you receive a large amount of money due to criminal activity. So this is money laundering, and it's been happening recently with cryptocurrency, recovering large amounts of money due to criminal activity, money laundering. Again, they went after the cryptocurrency exchange called Bitfinex. As you know, there are a lot of different cryptocurrency exchanges out there. And so if you are one of the people who are invested into cryptocurrency, then you know to make sure that you're putting your money in cryptocurrencies where it is harder to hack, cryptocurrency exchanges that are safer, like the cold wallets, for example. There's been a problem with people getting easy access to the monies that you put in for cryptocurrency. So if you're going to invest in cryptocurrency, do whatever you can to make sure that it's safe, because people are hacking it, people are stealing that money, and that money is coming up missing. So this is the largest financial seizure. The U.S. Justice Department took it upon themselves to do this financial seizure, and so this couple is currently arrested, and this just happened recently. $4.5 billion in cryptocurrency went missing. So, like I said before, that just happened. So, if you're an investor in cryptocurrency, you want to spread your money around, not put it into one currency exchange. Spread it around, try to keep it safe that way, but then also put it in an area where it's less likely to be hacked if you are aware of areas that may be safer, like cold wallets. Do whatever you can to find out more about securing your money and making sure that it just doesn't come up missing out of thin air, because that is what is happening to some people. Some people's money is coming up missing out of thin air. So as far as the cryptocurrency goes, with Bitcoin, In the year 2016, Bitcoin was worth $600. Now, currently, Bitcoin is worth 44,000. So that's a jump from $600. Cole Wallace, I always. What's up, David? How you doing? So, in 2016, Bitcoin was worth $600. As of now, that went from $600 to 44,000. As of today, the exact price of Bitcoin is 42,000, 42,973. So if you receive text messages on your phone about the cryptocurrencies, you can see that they're telling you it's down today, it's up today, down today. So as you might have been noticing that Bitcoin has been going down, just like with the rest of the stock market, but it had a high peak of 64,000, and then it went down to 42,973. But you have to remember that in 2016, it was at 600. So that's a jump from $600 to 42,973. So people see that it's going down, but what people don't see is that the net result is that it's going up from 600 to 42,973. But what most people can see is that it went down from 64,000 to now 42,000, if you see what I'm saying. They're not seeing that 600 to 42,000. They're seeing that 64,000 to 42,000, the latter portion, but they're not seeing the whole picture, the whole story. And so I just brought that up to say that if you look at something that's worth $600 in 2016, and then now the year is 2022, and it's 42,000, that's a 70-fold increase. So if you were in Bitcoin back in 2016, then you made a whole lot of money. Now, I wasn't in Bitcoin in 2016. Were you? Okay, so I'm just going to give an example. And as you know, they consider this a speculative asset. So there are some people who are taking more risks than others. And the more risk people you'll find are the millennials. I hear them talking all the time on the podcast. They don't care. They're taking this risk. They're putting like 50,000, stuff like that in Bitcoin. Whereas me, I'm at the 1%. But I just wanted to just give you some examples of what's happening. So 70-fold increase in 6 years. So say, for example, you don't trust Bitcoin and you got $1,000 in there. That's 1,000. If you had let it sit for 6 years, mind you, this is if nobody hacked it. If you let it sit for 6 years, 1,000 times that 70-fold increase, 6 years later, your $1,000 would have turned into 70,000. Let it sit for another 6 years. 70-fold increase. 70,000 times 70. What's that number say? 4.9 million. That's over like 12 years. Keep in mind, this is speculation, but I like doing speculations. Okay. So that's if you don't trust Bitcoin. You only got 1,000 in there because you don't trust it. 1,000, 70-fold increase, let it sit for 6 years. That's 70,000 in 6 years with your $1,000 because you don't trust Bitcoin. Say, for example, you're a millennial and you put 15,000 in there. back in 2016. You put 15,000 in there times 70-fold increase. You put your 15,000 in there times 70. You let it sit for 6 years. That's $1 million in 6 years off of a 15,000 investment. So that's what people are doing, and they aren't going to say a word to you. They aren't going to say one word to you. So just remember, this is not financial advice. I don't give financial advice. It's just for educational, informational purposes only. So it depends on whatever you want to do. If you don't trust Bitcoin, putting like $20 a week into it because you don't trust it, and it's okay if somebody steals that. Like, you can afford for somebody to steal that if you don't trust Bitcoin, $20 a week. So that's one example of how you can be doing your Bitcoin. $20 a week, $1,000, let it sit, get that 70-fold increase. And then for the people who trust it, they're going to be putting more in it. That 15,000 is just an example. That one-time 15,000 investment times that 70-fold increase, let it sit for 6 years, turns into $1 million. So they're not going to say one word to you. But just keep in mind that this is all speculation, and it has to be money that you are willing to lose, because people are doing all kinds of things. They're hacking, they're busting in, stealing it. Money is disappearing out of thin air. So just keep in mind that when and if you decide to do something like this, that this is money that you are willing to lose. It's kind of like gambling. It's kind of like gambling. Are you going to put in 15,000 to have 1 million in 6 years? Are you going to put in 1,000 to have 70,000 in 6 years? Or are you not going to touch it at all because you believe it's a scam? So, in my opinion, it can't be a complete scam because people are being arrested over laundering it. So it's important enough to be arrested over. So anyway, this is the Love of Money podcast. I just thought I would come in and let you know what is currently going on as far as people breaking in, stealing your Bitcoin, and coming up with creative ways to keep your money safe, and then deciding if you want to get in it or not, and then letting you know where it was at in 2016, $600, and where it's at now, 42,000. If you think about it, that's a huge jump. And if you weren't in, you missed out. But there's plenty opportunity. Opportunity is all around you. You just have to open your eyes and see it. And so I see David talking. Okay, I see you, David. And I appreciate you watching. I have one viewer. So I appreciate you, David. So you guys, you have a great night. And this is the Love and Money podcast with Shakira. If you like this podcast, I would appreciate it if you shared it with a friend, somebody who might be interested in creative ways to make money, what's going on with money, anybody who's interested in making money, entrepreneurship, side hustles. I bring on a new entrepreneur every week. That usually happens on Sundays. And I also bring on millionaires. There are people who are millionaires and multimillionaires, and they are actually nice people, and they are humble, and they are willing to be on this podcast. So I think it's exciting. I love it, and I have fun doing it. So every Sunday, I bring on a different entrepreneur, a millionaire, or a multimillionaire. So this is the Love and Money podcast with Shakira, and thank you for watching. and have a great night. Good night, David.